I'm going to add some details to the hummingbird in the foreground here. And also to the rose in the foreground. And then I'll soften the edges of these flowers here and see if I can't finish this up. It's always interesting how within any one painting there's certain points in its phase where I kind of just want to destroy it and start fresh. This has been one of those. Yeah, it's a constant push and pull of longing to do more kind of abstract expressionist loose work and really enjoying the detail of realism. And anyway, this was seeming too detailed for a while, but I think I'm getting it to a good balance. So right now I'm just studying my source image here to see how I can shift some things around in the painting to kind of match the clarity of what's in front, what's behind, the darks and the lights, especially where the wings meet up with the body. So that's my goal. Now, I'm also bringing some of this really lovely iridescent gradient of the light blue, the teal, and the yellow into this kind of gray. So I'm using the same palette that I started with a month ago. I had mixed acrylic retarder. It's a slow drying agent for acrylics. And I kept it with that press and seal on top, and it's still wet. Although where the paint is very thin, I'm going to start peeling that away probably when I clean up today. But where there was a lot of paint on my palette, it's still very wet and workable. Just got my brush a little wet with this white so I can create a nice crisp edge and have a fine point. Oops. That'll turn into something later. Not necessarily the best idea to have a painting on top of a painting, but really that's nothing right now. So. With a thinner brush. I'm just going to crisp up this edge of hummingbird body. Yeah. And this kind of work, the final stages when you're really trying to refine, finish, can get really tedious. It's also kind of meditative too. Also with school starting again and not being in a groove of working regularly in the studio poses some challenges, but it's all good. I'm going to dip my brush with that little bit of white paint in the water so I can just pull like a translucent bit of the lighter. See, at this point I'm actually observing the details of the individual feathers. They're curves, where one curves into the next, and adding that lighter value underneath to separate the wings from each other. As this second wing that's in the back moves to the left, there's more dark, and the the light becomes just a thin stripe. Again, more paint, more white, and then I dip my brush in a little bit of water so that I can create a crisp edge. Got my Plum Village Songs for Mindfulness playlist playing in the background. Did a mindfulness workshop with Thich Nhat Hanh back in 2011 and just really fell in love with their songs. After a while, when I was missing that experience, I looked it up on YouTube. So now I've got this little white outline here to separate the two, and I'm going to work in these little thin stripes. Just going to make this solid and come back in with that darker gray. Just getting kind of the shape down. Now I'm going to look at this kind of gray shape here, here, and you know, I use images off the internet a lot for my paintings. A lot of times I'm painting things I can't just sit and look at in life, although I know that I do enjoy that a lot. But really the best thing you could do if you're painting from source images that you find online is just use multiple sources, do something creative with it, and you're really making it your own. You don't have to worry about copyright at that point in time. Okay, so I've got some white here. I'm going to mix my gray by doing a little chromatic gray. I'm going to do red and green. So any two complementary colors will make a chromatic gray. It's really magical and kind of fun. I love teaching this to kids. That's true. Any two complements on the color wheel, you mix them in equal amounts. And at a certain point, get to this middle gray neutral color. I like using chromatic black and chromatic gray because there's just more vibrancy. The colors are alive. Hue, even though it seems masked. Got my gray here. Also great for working with depth, right? When you neutralize your colors with its opposite, it pushes it back visually, how we perceive color. So now I've got this gray, water, and here. See, I wasn't gonna do the gray at first. I was gonna just keep it, it's like bright blue, but I'm changing it up. I'm gonna stay a little more true to my source image here. Can create more depth. And so now I'm really paying special attention to this relationship of these shapes, these forms. Oh God. Don't paint the screen of the phone. All right. playing around with how to do the format of these videos. I've got feedback both ways to do a time lapse and speed everything up. I don't really have time to edit videos and do voiceovers and that, so I think I might just make just document the process, and I might have 10-minute videos for this one painting. We'll see. I'll change it up as we go, but I'm going to end this one for now.